such an asshole.
Okay, so to keep this guy anonymous, all I will say is that he is first generation Westerner. His parents are immigrants from the home country, and he has been raised in the Western country. So he is no doubt influenced by his parents and their culture, but he has grown up within the Western nation. And this is very, and I'm not giving him this. Sit down, everybody. Could you imagine the controlling parents might be Asian? I know. Sit down, everyone. Hey, all you Asian people learning the violin for no fucking reason whatsoever, because you have all that time as you are mandated and ordered by your parents to become a doctor. Yeah, set down the violin. Did you know that Asian parents might be a little domineering at times? I know. Who knew? So he writes, "Hey, Cappy, I'd really appreciate a video response to this. Please keep me anonymous. I think others navigating cross-cultural family dynamics might find this out." Yeah, this is very common. Yeah. I'm a mid-20-something guy living in a place in the Western place. I work as STEM person thing at a company I co-own with my parents. I earn around handsome salary a year and live independently. Even though I moved out, I still feel pressure from my parents to stay close with their friends' kids, even when we have little in common. I've tried to explain respectfully that I prefer to form friendships based on shared interests and values, not just family ties. But these conversations often lead to guilt, dismissal, and the assumption I'm being Wait, hang on. I'm just a hokey pokey white guy from Milwaukee. Asian parents use guilt? What? My best friend's Vietnamese. I got a couple other Vietnamese friends. Wait a minute. Or the assumption that I'm being difficult. I understand this mindset comes from their upbringing in a collectivist culture where family networks and social cohesion are very important. And while I do see the value in staying connected, I was born and raised in the West, and I lean more towards individual choice and personal compatibility when it comes to personal relationships. What makes this more complex is that we work together. My parents were the main investors in this company, but you are a co-owner, right? You co-own and continue to support me in an advisory capacity. They're both incredibly accomplished executive types earning much nicer salaries before starting this business. Okay. I'm grateful, genuinely grateful for their support and everything they've done to help me get here. However, I'm starting to feel emotionally drained. If this pattern continues, I may need to step back for some personal interactions, not out of anger, but to protect my peace, ability to choose my own friendships. I'd appreciate any advice on setting boundaries respectfully while maintaining both the family relationship and the business. Thanks. All right. Well, sounds like you already did it. I had a question because here's the problem, and it depends on how extreme they tend to be. Now, not Asian, but dad was a pastor. Surprise. Apparently, pastors have an issue if the children don't follow in Christ. Could you imagine that? So there's an outside chance. It doesn't sound like it's with your folks, but I have no son. Like if you don't you don't go to the Oofy Doofy Fest or whatever your culture celebrates. What do you mean you're not going to Oofy Doofy Fest? We always go to Oofy. Yeah, but Dad, I met this cute girl and you can't. I have no son. It's unlikely to go that far, but I've seen it more around religion. I'll let you guess which religion has a problem with people living it. Like if you start, could you survive without your parents or support from the business? Like if you start laying down boundaries and saying no, would they cut you off? And if so, do you have any skills to support yourself otherwise? And how much mental damage are you dealing with their social requests? Like, is it literally lessening your standard of living and mental peace, or is it just annoying as it is dealing with all parents in life? And he says, thanks for the reply. To answer your first question, yes, I could survive if my parents cut me off. I hold a STEM background, years experience in the sector, currently have enough savings, and you got a retirement fund, so you're good to go. So I could get by if needed while finding another job. That being said, my parents have never threatened to cut me off. Realistically, it would be very difficult and costly for them to replace me. Reliable and loyal employees in this field typically demand more than what they pay me, and I handle a large chunk of other aspects of this business. While I could find a higher paying role elsewhere, I'd be giving up the growth potential and autonomy that comes with being self employed. As for the mental damage, it's more of an ongoing annoyance than something that's ruining my peace or limiting my life. The social expectations are framed as suggestions, but delivered with the usual forcefulness you get in a strong willed family. Thankfully, they're relatively open minded in other areas that find, um, really? See, I know the country he's from, but I wouldn't know. Not everyone in that country has that rule, do they? All right, whatever. Drinking, dating outside my culture, so long as it's not excessively promiscuous, which is reasonable. Blah blah blah. Um, yeah. So if your folks look, here's the thing: your folks don't get to that level, running the business that they are now, or the executive level they were beforehand, not being empirical, not being reasonable. I think it probably comes out of a source of love, obviously. Like, dude, I was 30 fucking 6 years old one time, right? I'm there. My mom, did you brush your teeth? I'm looking at this is like Christmas or something. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, did I brush my teeth? Did I brush? Like, I'll brush my teeth. You will all here. This is my dentist told me this related to brushing teeth. My dentist in the Twin Cities, she says, have you ever heard of powdered butt syndrome? I said, no. And she says, anyone who ever put powder on your butt, they won't listen to you, right? And we're talking Americans typically independent minded, but this is just parents, man. Uh if you can figure out how to get your parents to listen to you, and I'm not even talking about on important matters, but things like getting your mom to not tell you to brush your teeth. You should write a book and make a lot of money, man. So a lot of this is just they put powder on your butt. They got powder butt syndrome. They're not good. You are always their little boy, even though you might probably be taller than your mom and dad by now. So factoring that in, it's not malicious. A lot of it's genetic, and they have treated you very well. You do owe them a lot. And I would just, like you said before, politely explain and sit them down. I was not as tactful. I did "I'll leave you in a ditch and I'm not supporting you" speech, but that they kinda understood. But since this requires tact and etiquette and they're good parents, and they love you, just say and I don't know, I'm gonna assume your old man is the one, maybe if you can who would listen to you more? I'm gonna assume it's your old man, right? But maybe not. I'm just gonna go with the guy. Pull your dad aside. "Look, I need to talk to you." Say, "Look, dad, I appreciate everything you've done, but I don't and I'll come here for so like the friends, the kids of their friends, they want you to hang out with for whatever reason you don't like them. You don't hate them, I gotta imagine, but I presume they want you to come over during cultural festivals, big events, and hang out, right? And you're not a young kid. You can hang out and have etiquette and decor. You could even ask them things, right? It's like a family reunion. Not everybody likes everybody else, but that's fine. I think that's probably what they want. You make the appearance. Oh, so and so's daughter is getting married. We've been invited to the wedding. Of course, attend, be polite. And honestly, it's not the worst thing to have those cultural connections. It really isn't. I mean, here in the United States, we don't got them because everyone gets divorced and they change the religion and whatever else. I mean, there's really no culture. And most everyone's an asshole. I don't. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss the social events and the social activities that would be within your culture. So, fine. I'm not saying you got to go to Great America or the roller rink with these people. But if there's a your mom and dad say, "Oh, there's a wedding," or the group, the nation you're from, they have this nation's festival. Oh, we're celebrating this festival, and They have something at the park. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Wouldn't be the worst thing to make the occasional appearance. But yeah, this is not, it sounds like they're crossing a line where they want these people to be your friends, and it's exhausting you now. It's starting to take a price. So I would pull your old man aside or your mom, whichever the weaker of the two there is, bend their ear and say, look, appreciate everything, but I do not like hanging out with these people. I don't hate hanging out with them, but I have my own friends. I have my own interests, and I appreciate wanting to, kind of hang out culturally. And if it's Oofy Doofy Fest, of course I'll be here, and we can make the boulagash or whatever it is the great food from your country is, and you put lots of spices, whatever, and you'll play the Festivus for the rest of us, where you have the steel aluminum pole. Fine, but Dad, and you have to listen to me because it's part, I need some response from you. I can't have you guys keep reminding me of this. I've said no. I wish you would respect my decision. And if there's an event that obviously, okay, fine, but I do not want to be, these are not my best friends. These are not my regular friends. These are acquaintances. These are associates. These are community members, but these are not my friends. And I'm busy, you're busy, I'll have my own life, and just kind of reset. So it, you're not at the point yet where you threaten to leave them, right? You're nowhere near that, and I don't think you'll ever get there. And I hope you don't. I've seen that way more, where you're going to do this because and the parents don't even think of you as a sovereign human being. They really, I've seen that happen. Like, well, you got to give me money and you got to go out and all that other shit. That's not what your family loves you. Uh, so I don't think there's any malice. I just don't think they understand. Like, Dad, this is really annoying me. Because not only do I not, it's annoying hanging out with these people, but when you keep bringing it up and I say no and you don't listen, like I've even, not that I recommend you do this, but with, my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm not answering the same question more than once because girls will do this. Do you want a root beer float? No. Well, what if it's my root beer float? No, I don't want a root beer float. Well, I want to put this type of and you should, that's where it starts to get pissing you off, because they're not realizing you're a human being and they're not respecting your decision. And it goes from they just want what's best for you to they want you to do what you want to do or what they want you to do. And that's, I don't think they're there yet, but that's somewhere you might want to say, Dad, I'm not going to do it. And I'd appreciate it if you stop asking. I'll kind of come up, but I'm not going to, like, that's your base. Dad, I know you want me to be friends with these people. I don't want to be friends with these people. And then I'm not going to do it. I'll be cordial and social. And if we have, um, the chasing of the pig days or whatever, again, whatever awesome cultural activities you got, uh, I'd love to participate and I will, but Dad, I have my own life. And I think your dad will understand it. And say, can you convince mom? Or vice mom, look, I really can't, not going to do it. And please stop asking. And that should do it. They're always going to slip. Your mom, I can't wait for you to be 36 and your mom, like, did you brush your teeth? Because it's powdered butt syndrome. That's unconscious, just like girls. Why isn't the man doing the thing I want him to do? They're always gonna, do you want some? No, I'm fine. Well, I can make you some. Bitch, I literally just fucking said I was fine. They don't. They don't understand. This is girls. They don't understand words. They don't understand empiricism. No, I am fine is not code word for anything else. It is literally the words. No, I am fine. And if you ask me if I'm fine again, now I'm not fine. I'm pissed off. Not because of disrespect, because now I'm repeating myself. I have a very low patience, very low tolerance for bullshit. So since your folks aren't like, you're not wrong, you're not abandoning the religion or anything like that, this is just they want you to. And again, Not the worst thing to be have a community backing you up. But yeah, dad, yeah, no, I don't want to go bowling with them. I'm gonna go bowling with these people over here. It should work fine. I think your parents seem like rational people. Again, they wouldn't become that successful forcing the will on a world that won't accept it. Hit me if they still don't, then maybe you got a problem. But be polite, don't be rude. Then maybe you kick it up to DEFCON 3 where it's like, I will leave you in a fucking ditch. And that's usually the oh shit. And then they hear that. There's some key words I could give you that parents will well, what's funny is your parents are probably my age. That's what's funny. Um, yeah, there's some key words you could tell your parents, and then it's not a polite, like, "Okay, I'll fucking walk from the family and I won't be here for Christmas." All right, we got one super chat. Hatton Clogs, $2. Cappy, one most listen and obey to boomer parents. One must listen and obey boomer parents. No. See, I'll give his parents reason to listen to. Not because they're Gen X, likely. Not because they're foreign or from Asia country or more traditional. They're good parents. They raised them right. They set them up. They have them working. They didn't say go major and touchy armpit farting noise stuff. He's got, I don't want to say what his degree is. It's a real profession. They're entrepreneurial. They were successful. I think they're just very classical, old school parents. And he should honor them. These are parents that deserve his honor and respect, but they got to kind of like, yeah, he's not your slave. So, all right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.